Let me tell you a story. I remember it hit me a lot faster than most people when I realized that I was just lost in life. So it was around like my junior year in high school. Everyone my whole life had told me that, oh, you're going to be a great doctor because I had always gotten like all A's, like I was always getting like perfect grades. And I would go to these medical classes and I would get like 100%, 100% on every single test. But I always knew in the back of my mind that that is not what God put me on this earth to do. I knew it wasn't my purpose, right? And the issue is so many people go throughout their life, they go through high school, they go through college, and they get out of college and they realize like what I've been pursuing isn't my purpose. And now they're just stuck with this feeling of being lost. They distracted themselves so much in college with like partying, drinking, and hooking up that they don't even realize that the degree that they're chasing or the job they're chasing or the business, whatever it is, they don't even realize that it isn't their purpose. Like they're so distracted from their own reality. Fortunately though, there is a practice that you could literally start doing right now. Like you can do this shit right after this video and you'll slowly start to realize what your true inner purpose is. I call this practice sitting in silence. So basically the whole idea behind it is you are so distracted in life, like you're constantly stimulating yourself with like scrolling when you're bored. Like it's like you're subconsciously afraid of just sitting in silence. You're afraid of being bored because you know that if you just had to sit in silence, you would know that you would have to just think about your reality. You would have to think about your future, and it's uncomfortable. People aren't comfortable with thinking about their future because they know it will be shit. So you just sit there and you think these thoughts like, what do I want to do with my life? If I had infinite money, how would I help people? Like, what do I think God's purpose is for me in this life? For me, it really took me a while to discover that, it was YouTube. My best friend, I asked him this question, and his thing is like building projects. Like, you can imagine, like, these people who plan out, like, buildings. That's his kind of purpose that he told me. So you got to realize it's different for most people, right? And one of the biggest distractions isn't just scrolling. Like, obviously seeing a bunch of social media and just being distracted is a big distraction, but you'll soon realize that people are a huge distraction. So like me, imagine all the teachers, the friends, the family saying like, oh, you're so smart, you're gonna be an amazing doctor, and I just knew it wasn't the right thing. But imagine I just listened to them and I became the doctor in a couple of years. Imagine how unfulfilled I would be living a life not allocated to my purpose. Or imagine the people who will like look at your purpose, your one thing that you want to do, and they're like, oh no, you shouldn't do that, I heard this bad thing about it, oh, business is too risky, this and that. You see what I mean? People can be a huge distraction from your purpose. Proverbs 19 verse 21 says this: many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. So what that basically means is the Lord's purpose will eventually prevail. It will come out to you when you're doing this practice. You literally just imagine all these people who told you this is what you're going to be, this is what you can't be, you can't be this. You imagine their words do not exist. Like, we can still love them because they're our family, they're our friends, but imagine their words just don't exist to you. It's just you and God. You're just thinking about what you want to do. What did you put me on this earth to do? You sit there, you're praying, and you're just contemplating in silence, no distractions whatsoever. This is not supposed to be an easy practice, by the way. Like, it may take you days. Imagine like you allocate maybe a whole weekend, even like you literally like turn off your phone like completely, like not just like press the power button. I mean like completely turn it off for a whole weekend. The only reason you can stop doing this practice is you get up to eat or you go take a shit or something. Like, this practice isn't supposed to be easy. I like to do it where I have just like maybe 30 minutes, 10 minutes where I just sit in silence, either out in nature or I'm laying in bed and I'm just thinking about life. But when you start doing this, you'll soon start to realize like, okay, this is the job that I would actually love waking up to do. Like, if I woke up and I knew that this is the way I made money, this is the job I did, or this is the business I was running, that would make me so damn happy. I would do that shit for free. But like I said, this practice isn't supposed to be easy. You gotta realize you may even cry, honestly. Like, I used to cry when I did this. Now, I'll be honest, I start to cry tears of happiness. Like, I'll be thinking about my future if I keep allocating my life to this purpose and my lifestyle. I'll think about my future and I'll cry some tears of happiness because it's just awesome, you know? This practice has helped me so much with defining who I am, what my purpose is, what I want to do with my life, and so many other things. I made a video recently talking about how this practice helped me like define myself in regards to insecurities, so you may want to go check that out. But one thing I'll tell you right now is that most people aren't going to do this practice. Most people watching this video right now are going to hear this, they're going to be like, oh, this is cool, I've never heard of this, and they're just not going to do this shit because it's scary. It is so scary to sit down with no distractions and legit just have to think about your life, to think about your future. It's scary. It's like you know that your future is going to be shit, so you're just distracting yourself from that reality, right? So when you do this practice, you literally force yourself to think of solutions for your future, and you know that is what will help you in the long run. So I hope you're one of the small amount of people that are watching this video that are actually going to take action on this. By the way, man, if you like this free content, you should go check out, link in the description. I recently launched a paid community and I know you would like it, so go check it out. Let me tell you one last story though. So I realized that a lot of people lived their life in reverse. So you can imagine this thing where they have fun in their youth, right? That's what you've always been told. That's what society has always told you. Even like old people in your family, they always said, oh, enjoy your youth, have fun in your youth, right? And then they start to get into their 20s, maybe they get out of college and shit, and they realize the job they pursued isn't the one they want. Their health is shit because they spent all through college like drinking alcohol and doing all the weird ass drugs, eating shit food, not even exercising. But one huge thing I preach on this channel is flipping the chart. So you got to realize, imagine the life where you weren't doing any of the habits, you weren't working out, reading your Bible, you're not meditating, you're not even living towards your purpose. You can imagine if we had a chart of how your life would be, it would just go downhill, downhill, downhill. And it is really sad living that kind of lifestyle. But when you flip the chart and you actually do the practice that I talked about earlier, you find your purpose, you know exactly what you want to do, you're able to take steps. Like every day you could wake up and you could study for that degree that you know you would love. You would love waking up and knowing that, okay, I'm going to take one more step towards that dream job, towards that dream business. Or maybe it's like I'm getting one step closer towards that dream physique. You got to realize every time you take that step, your life is going up. You flip the chart. Your life used to be like this, right? And that's why you were unhappy. You looked at your future and it just went this way. And when you flip the chart, it'll go up and up and up. You know that you will eventually get the dream business. You'll get the dream job, whatever it is. You'll get the dream physique. And like, imagine going to bed at the end of the day knowing that you actually work towards your purpose. Like, you know this is the shit you want to do. You went to the gym, you're seeing that you're making so much progress in your physique. Maybe you're also doing like martial arts, you started meditating, you started reading your Bible. You're feeling that your relationship with God is growing so much stronger day in and day out. You're meditating, so you're like able to actually control your mind so much better. It's really an awesome lifestyle. You go to bed at the end of the day and you just smile knowing that you did so much work that is actually fulfilling. I really hope that soon, if you keep following my advice, you start going to the gym, you start meditating, you start trying to find what your purpose is. You'll eventually do this practice again, right? Where you sit in silence and you just think about life. And you'll get to my point where you actually, instead of crying tears of sadness, it is tears of happiness. That's what I started to do now because, you know, back then, I said it on some videos, I used to be suicidal, right? I used to just look at my life and I saw it was just like, it would just go downhill. There was nothing I can do. And then I realized that I could actually flip the chart. I can actually find my purpose. I didn't even know I could start working out, right? I didn't even have a concept of like building the dream physique, right? I had no concept of that. And now I literally cry tears of happiness when I do this practice. It's just now I know that God has so much in store for my life. And it's because I'm starting all the habits like meditating, reading my Bible, working out, martial arts, all these cool things that I enjoy, right? But yeah, man, that's really it. If you want to learn more about this though, like I said earlier, I recently launched a community. There's some courses in there, some bonus courses that I know you would like. I'm still building it, but go check it out, link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.